In a brief scene in The Matrix Resurrections, it was shown when the machines were repairing Neo's body, but the strange thing is that they were also fixing Neo's eyes. Later, Neo reawakens to the real world with a brand new pair of eyes and not a scar remaining from when they were burned off his face. So we ask ourselves, why would the analyst give Neo's vision back if the idea was to use Neo as a power source for the Matrix and was never intended for him to wake up again? Is there something we are missing with the analyst's plan? What if the analyst created a new path of the One? Welcome to Matrix Explained.
Welcome to the desert of the real.
To understand what happened to Neo's body and how this may have resulted in a new path of the One, let's recap what happened in the Matrix Revolutions. Smith became a virus, infecting everyone connected to the Matrix, including a red pill named Bane.
Look, Smith will suffice.
Bane was later found unconscious after a Zion defense mission was sabotaged. On the Hammer, Bane killed the crew medic, Maggie.
Of course, it might not be very safe for you either.
He then sneaks into the Lagos to kill Neo on his way to the Machine City. During the life or death battle between Neo and the infected Bane, Neo lost his eyes. Neo is now blind in the real world, but could still see Smith, the machines, and the Machine City in the mysterious Golden Code. Later, Neo meets the God of Machines, and they make a deal for Smith's destruction. Neo sacrifices himself for humanity and the machines. One of the machines that saw this sacrifice was the Analyst. Here he realized that Neo could be a great new power source, as Neo is the anomaly among anomalies. The Analyst reconstructs Neo's dead body, and that took a lot of effort.
Resurrecting you both was crazy expensive. Like renovating a house. Took twice as long, cost twice as much.
The interesting thing about Neo's reconstruction is that his eyes were also reconstructed. If the Analyst intended to keep Neo inside the simulation forever, why did he bother to rebuild Neo's eyes? Going back to the beginnings of the Matrix, Morpheus explained to Neo that humans are not born.
There are fields, endless fields, where human beings are no longer born. We are grown.
Although Morpheus said that humans were created, later we meet the brothers Tank and Dozer, who were born in the real world by traditional means. Their parents had sex. The humans created by the machines for the Matrix have their eyes, all their organs, limbs, and also their reproductive systems. Men and women born from the Matrix can have children after escaping the simulation. This doesn't make sense. If machines figured out how to create humans, why don't they cut out the unnecessary parts to boost the output of energy humans produce? They can experiment on humans to maximize energy output, just as humans experiment on animals to increase animal products such as meat. If the humans are created without some important parts, like their eyes, there may not be a human resistance against the machines. There would be no Zion. As mentioned before, modifying the human body would be easy for the machines. But there is something that we discovered in Matrix Reloaded, and that is that Neo, being the integral anomaly, needs to be controlled. The architect understood that the integral anomaly needs to go through the path of the One, which includes escaping to the real world and meeting other humans in Zion. Humans can reproduce and maintain the facade because the architect needs to manipulate the anomaly when it manifests. The father of the Matrix made it very clear when he told Neo about his predecessors.
Your 5 predecessors were, by design, based on a similar predication, a contingent affirmation that was meant to create a profound attachment to the rest of your species, facilitating the function of the One. While the others experienced this in a very general way, your experience is far more specific.
So the reason why the humans that the machines create remain as normal as possible is because the architect needs to manipulate the anomaly and have the anomaly create empathy for Zion, continuing down the path of the One and restarting the cycle. Zion is a controlled system, custom made for the anomaly. Understanding this, the reason why the Analyst fixed Neo's eyes becomes a bit sinister. We know that the architect gave the humans all the faculties needed so that they could survive in the real world, and thus manipulate Neo, so we can deduce that the analyst did the same. When Neo was awakened for the second time, not only were his eyes repaired, but his body as a whole was different. Although he is over 80 years old in the movie, he maintains a more youthful appearance. Maybe the analyst modified Neo's body so that when he woke up, he would have no problem interacting with the real world. This hints that the analyst knew that Neo would eventually wake up and escape to Io. It's possible that he even wanted it to happen, and so he gave Neo the tools to survive in the real world. In recent videos, we discussed the analyst's plan, how he could have taken Neo, Trinity, and Smith and rebuild them as new programs. Could it be that Neo is repeating the same path as his predecessors? Is he destined to repeat the same thing over and over again? Zion was created to keep the anomaly in check, which it did 5 times before, but maybe since it didn't work the 6th time, the suits realized that the city no longer functioned as part of the traditional system of control. So they gave the analyst the job of the architect and gave him the responsibility to create a new path of the One. In the past, this path of the One concluded with the destruction of Zion and the complete manipulation of the integral anomaly. But this new path may involve Io and Trinity. Maybe Neo is still being manipulated, this time not with Zion, but with Trinity. This would also help to explain why Trinity was resurrected. Perhaps Neo is doomed to live forever between simulacra and simulations. But there is something else, and that is that the reason why the Path of the One was created was to control the anomaly and update the Matrix. If this is a new version of the Path of the One, then that means that eventually, Neo would have to update and restart the Matrix again. But do you agree? Could it be that Io and Trinity are part of the new Path of the One?
The place where you live is not the place you once dreamed of? Are you sick of your hot and filthy Zion apartment? Then we have the solution for you. Bad credit or criminal history? We can wipe your slate clean and give you a fresh start. We at Megacity Realty can find you the most luxurious real estate, where you can spend hours playing your favorite virtual reality video game, eating the most delicious meals, and having an endless supply of blue medications. What are the blue pills for? No need to worry, because you will be bathing in the most phenomenal bathtub, with the best view of the city, and only minutes away from the best cafeteria in the city. Why wait? Contact one of our agents and be reconnected to the home of your dreams. Megacity Realty. Offer valid while the truce lasts.
For Matrix Explained, please leave a like and subscribe. And thank you for visiting the Desert of the Real.